What's up?
I'm not. Are we, you gonna leave it like this?
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I ain't worried. Child,
I'm sorry. I got
worried about you.
I looked in the comments and saw the thing about Kelly Price.
Yeah, I literally just saw that right before I went live. I said I had to do my research when I get off of here, and I guess I'll do a quick drop. They said that the last time they something about the last that we've heard from Kelly Price was when she told us she had COVID. And what are you saying? Something about the boyfriend?
They said they went to do a welfare check. Okay, so according to the officials in Cobb County, Kelly has been listed as missing person following a welfare check conducted at her home last Saturday. This is last Saturday.
Yeah, why we just finding out?
Right, we're told that authorities found no evidence of foul play and spoke with Kelly's boyfriend at the residence, but she's now listed as missing with the National Crime Information Center.
So then that don't even make no sense. When you do a wellness check, the purpose of a wellness check is to check
to see the person. So
why
when you did the well check, did you not see her?
Looking to her boyfriend meant nothing. They needed to see her. Put that, especially since the last thing she told everybody was that her ass had COVID.
Well, okay, so it says she posted that she had COVID on July 29th, and she was admitted to the hospital about a week later and ended up in the ICU because her condition had worsened.
Oh, I didn't know none of that.
Yeah, her family says that they were in touch with Kelly while she was in the hospital in early August, and her children were able to visit her several times. However, 3 weeks after she was admitted, they were told her kids got a call that she had been discharged, which was surprising because she was apparently still not fully healthy. The family says Kelly has not been heard from since. And they told cops her boyfriend is allegedly keeping friends and family members from visiting her home.
Yeah, that don't sound.
So they went to do the welfare check, and now she's officially missing. That's crazy.
I don't understand how the police walk away. The purpose of a wellness check is to check on the person. Nah. Her being discharged is not that big of a it's not that big of a shock to me, that even though she wasn't fully well, because we know that the beds are empty, and that as soon as you are halfway,
they're gonna put you out because
you gotta go, right? If they need the bed, you gotta go. So that part of the story is not that ridiculous. But the part where the family called the police to say we need a welfare check, and the police talk to the boyfriend and leave, that's not a welfare check, sir.
It's not.
Oh, wow. Well, and if this happened last Saturday, I'm glad that it sounds like the family went to the media. So I'm glad. And I feel like they probably didn't want to make this a big deal unless, in case it wasn't a big deal. But listen, we just seen worse happen. So praying for her and the family. Hope that this is all just one big misunderstanding, and that we get the information.
Now I want them to treat Kelly Price like they treated that white woman they found in the woods, and her boyfriend is missing, is in the wind.
Child, listen. Say that again for the people in the back that didn't hear you. Okay.
Listen, I want this all over TikTok. I want it all over the YouTubes. Everybody, we looking for Kelly. Where Kelly at? And I want them to find wherever she is in the same amount of time they found that white woman in the woods.
Okay.
Because the police was involved with them too, because they had a whole domestic situation, and there was a whole body cam footage and everything of the police walking up on the girl and the boyfriend. And now the boyfriend done magically. Child.
Anyway, all right, y'all. Well, that ain't what we here for, but and Jonathan, don't think that I didn't see that you spoke to Ebbie before you spoke to me. I saw it, sir. I saw it.
He proposed to me.
Oh, the diva is here. The diva has arrived.
The Don Dada.
The Don Dada. Let us know when you're ready.
The professor, the good doctor.
The professor, the good doctor, the diva.
The Don Dada.
Really be, you know, I'm in a position now where when duty calls,
Oh God, yes, we know.
I had to answer Harry. Yeah, bothering me. So I decided I was gonna crack a bottle.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes, a bottle of Merlot. I'm finna
Mother,
Actually,
did
me.
you want to come up? I was gonna send you the invitation because I know you reviewed the show too. But
who?
I didn't. I know Friday
Mother.
nights, you know. So if you want to come through, you know you're more than welcome to come on up here.
Come on.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
What are you pouring?
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Joshua, what does the title of this video say?
We're not gonna listen. I'm gonna try and get the Justice League together next weekend sometime after episode 3.
I'm going to
Hopefully you be caught up.
hopefully I'll finish episodes 1 and 2 tonight. Hopefully.
Okay, honey.
Hopefully.
Well, we do watch Blood and Water, and we review.
We do. We know season 2 is out.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. I also talked to George. George is gonna do an interview with us. He was gonna do an interview like this week. Well, first of all, this week was crazy for me. But second of all, Ebbie, don't be rude. I mean, don't think I'm being rude if I mute
me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lord, I'd have muted my damn self. Okay. But when I talked to George, based on his storyline and some of the other things that are coming up in the season, I'd rather wait. Because y'all know how when y'all interview somebody too early in the season, they can't tell you nothing. Oh, well, they didn't show that part yet. Well, wait till you see that part. So I would rather interview him when he can actually talk more about everything that we're seeing. So we're gonna definitely get. I've already talked to George. Probably gonna get Markel at some point. I don't know, maybe Carrie D. We'll see how the season progresses. But yeah, the Justice League will be uniting at some point in the next couple of weeks to give y'all some good chasing Dallas. But that is not what we are here for tonight. Tonight we are here to discuss a new show that debuted this week. Y'all asked me if I was going to review it. I told y'all.
They asked, you know, they was in my. I put a post up there. I was like, should I review a child? You know, they was in my. Yeah.
I was still talking. So, y'all asked me if I was going to review it. And I told y'all I was going to watch the first episode. And then I would let y'all know. So after I watched the first episode, I was definitely here for the review. There's some pros and some cons. And we're going to talk a little bit about all of it. My review is up. ElTeddy's review is up. Mother, a.k.a. Spill It Boy TV, his review is up. Not sure if Ebbie's going to review it or not, but I know the three of us. So when we get done here, y'all go watch our reviews. Okay? Now, it's been a long time since we done hung out on a Friday night, huh? But we are here.
Listen, Mother, I know you're going to let me lick the bottle and suck on the tip, God.
Mother, why you even bring it up? You already know who we dealing with over here.
Can't let it drop. You can't let that drop spill. That's alcohol abuse.
Anyway, after the week I had, I need the whole bottle of damn self. But anyway. So Kelly Price been divorced forever. Her husband been got divorced, child. No. So let's start at the beginning. So what we're gonna do, this what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and just talk about what happened. And then we can get into the the pros and the cons, what we like, what we didn't like. But let's sort of talk about what had happened. So the show is called Our Kind of People, right? And the setting is Martha's Vineyard, summertime.
So it is Martha's Vineyard, because I didn't know exactly where they were.
I thought they had said Vineyard because they talked about the reason why I say that is because they talked about Sasha having a job there in the summer. Mm-hmm. And that's where Sasha worked, was at Martha's Vineyard one summer. So that's why I just made that connection when they said, oh, the restaurant that she worked at, yada, yada, yada. I was like, okay. So, yeah, ultimately, Sierra, I agree. For me as well. And I know I watched
Tyler Perry-esque.
Very Tyler Perry-esque, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Abby, you can, hold on. Oh, okay. Well, Abby, you can unmute yourself when you're ready to talk. You muted yourself. I didn't mute you. So we start the episode off. We see Angela, Nikki, and we see the auntie. What's the auntie name, y'all?
I think Aunt Picky.
I call her Dimples. I don't know her name.
Because you know that's my girl. You know that's my girl. Debbie Morgan. Listen, we go back to all my children, okay? We go back.
At first, I thought they said Piggy. And I said, wait, did they just say Piggy? And I said, maybe they said Piggy. So I'm going to just say it was Piggy.
I don't know. I'm going to just call, listen, we can call her Dimples because that's my girl. We go back. Peggy. Okay, maybe I think Peggy might be right. Peggy might be right.
The cast.
We need to. Hold on. Let me IMBD it.
Yeah, IMBD her. IMBD her.
When I looked at the cast, they had her name as Patricia.
So then I would be Peggy then. Okay, Ebbie is on it. So for me, the first thing that threw me off was we see them stop at the beach and we hear them talking about, you know, they're going down to Martha's Vineyard and she wants to expose Nikki to some new things and, you know, some new events.
Can I interject real fast?
No, hold on. Some new.
Ebbie, it's her takeover spirit. She always take over.
It's my channel. And I was talking. Wiggy. Treasure Lane said Wiggy.
She is listed on IMBD as Patricia Aunt Piggy Oink Oink Williams.
Oh, it is Piggy.
So it's Piggy. Okay.
Piggy.
I thought I heard Piggy. And I was
the first thing that threw me off was that we found out that Nikki and Angela are mother and daughter and not sisters, which is what I thought.
Especially when she called her grandmother Mama so-and-so.
Right. So go ahead what you were gonna say, ElTeddy. Go ahead.
I didn't know if it was a lesbian type situation. Or I don't know. I was confused.
I never got that impression.
I didn't get no lesbian.
I got the impression that they were sisters.
That's what I thought.
I thought that they were sisters, but what I'm saying was, I felt like, to me, if you calling somebody Mama so and so, that's just not a normal term for you to say Mama and somebody's last name unless you have two mothers. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I just don't get that. I don't know people who call their grandmother Mama. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying where I come from and how I was raised. I don't know people who call their grandmother Mama so and so. They're just, you know.
From personal experience, my grandmother, who was a mother in church, we called her mother. We never called her grandma. We called her Mother Clark all the time.
No. Now that's different. If you're saying, because my grandmother was a mother in the church too, so that's different. If you're being like Mother so and so, that's different. They're saying Mama such and such, Mother so and so. I
don't remember hearing that. When did I'm missing that part?
When they were on the beach, in that beach scene, she called her mama something. That's why I assumed they were sisters. And then I paused it and I came back to it this afternoon, and that's when I realized, oh, that's her daughter. And then when the daughter got fresh at the mouth because I'd have knocked the teeth down the throat. That's just me personally.
Okay. No, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Hey, so
I didn't want to skip too far ahead.
No,
when baby girl got smart at the mouth, now you want to be.
We getting there. Mm-hmm. Sierra agrees with you, ElTeddy. Sierra said that she felt like that's what they was getting at too. So I didn't catch it, but ElTeddy did. So maybe they did, and we'll get that could very well be something that we find out later on, and we'll say ElTeddy was right. Okay. So
it's not far-fetched for her to have a daughter that age. At the age of 38.
Wait.
This wasn't what I was expecting.
Yaya being 38 is one thing, but the character, how old is the character?
I think she's the same age, in late 30s, early 40s. That's how
I didn't get 40s at all. I didn't get 40s at all.
I did. Okay. I don't know, because our black don't crack. So once you hit like 30 something, you don't age until you hit 60.
Yeah.
You don't start to show your age in your face until you 60.
I definitely know that Yaya in real life, but again, the character, it just threw me off because I really thought that was her younger sister.
I did too.
Okay. So what we find out is that Angela is the mother who has started this hair care company, Eve's Crown, named after her mom, who was also a hairdresser. Her mother has recently passed, and they found out that her mother had the deed to this building down to the Martha's Vineyard. Now they knew that their mama used to be down to the Martha's Vineyard, but they had no idea that she had owned this property that she had sort of kept secret from them all these years. So they're going.
Thoughts about why she kept it secret.
Well, share.
I feel like that deed was given to her by the daddy.
Teddy.
To say, girl, shut up.
It was definitely a payoff. Oh, absolutely, right. It was. Absolutely,
it was payoff. Girl,
absolutely
shut up.
Because you got that at the end when Layla said my family used to own that building. I was like, oh, okay, well, there you go.
She didn't want her daughter to know who her dad was, and didn't want her dad associated with her. At the moment that you know you about to take your last breath and your daughter gonna find out anyway, you might as well give it up the ghost and give up all this information now. And you think that she would have said, oh, by the way, your daddy is such and such. If you giving up all this other information, why wouldn't you?
But we don't know the circumstances of the mom's death yet, so we don't know if it was sudden. You know what I'm saying?
She had enough time to give her the deed to that house. While she was giving
they didn't find out until their mother died. They still didn't know until after her mother died and they were going through her papers. So the mother never told them ever.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she did say that was another thing she took to the grave. I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so riddle me this. Y'all tell me if this sounds familiar. This feels familiar to you. This show is giving me very much the black version of Revenge. Do y'all remember that show Revenge on ABC?
No.
With the white girl, and she came. The exact premise of this show where the long lost daughter came from out of nowhere to get revenge for her mama on the rich white people who did her wrong. It's giving me very much that. It's giving me like she has a plan, and I don't know. Now she has a super plan now that she done found out that me and her daddy. Also, these people don't know how business works. You just don't walk into the office and be like, and you're retiring because I said so. That's not how businesses for boards work. Where's the vote?
We
didn't jump all the way.
Listen.
Y'all know I'm old, so I gotta get it while it's in my head. So.
No, because we're gonna have a whole breakdown of that fuckery. Okay, I'm sorry. That was fuckery, but that's right.
So let's
go back to the beginning.
Right. So we see them get to the building, and we find out that her mother used to actually run a shop, and she started off as a maid on the island, but then once she got this building, which we've all sort on the same page of how she got the building, she opened up her own salon, and she used to do
really be.
Huh?
I don't know, or do we know that building is where her mom's shop was?
Yeah, because when they went in, they had all the hair equipment in the damn building. Remember remember when they first walked in the building, they had all of the chairs covered up and all that stuff. It was a hair salon.
Oh, that her. Well,
Piggy said.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like the mom had that shop during owned that building, I should say, while she was actively working.
Well, somebody was using it as a salon.
No. I'm saying she probably was allowed to have that. You know what I'm saying? She probably was allowed to have a shop in that place, if that makes sense, in that building. But I don't know that she owned the whole building. I don't feel like she owned that whole building while she was working there. She might have been allowed to have that shop in the building, if that makes sense. And then after a while, he was like, okay, here, you can have this.
So you're saying that you feel like after she left the island, he gave her the building?
Because when did she stop working? We don't know. There's a lot of things we're going to probably get.
We don't have a lot of answers yet.
Yeah,
we got a bunch of questions.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but my question to that would be, or my response to that would be, then what would the motivation be for him to give her anything if she had already left town, other than her threatening to come back? Like, why would he give her a building? And if she blackmailed him to get the building, she left it empty. She never went back. She never used it. I don't know.
I think it was additional hush money on top of the money that he gave her.
when she left town and his business started to skyrocket and balloon, he saw the writings on the wall and said, it's probably not a good look for this to come out that I'm over here having, kids with the maid and with the help. Let me pay her off. You keep your mouth closed. This is your, what you gonna have to keep your mouth closed, and we're gonna leave it there. And yeah, obviously it worked because she kept her mouth closed.
I don't know. Maybe that's a question we'll answer later on, because I think arguments can be made for both, both things. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll answer that.
Maybe he gave her the building as a child support situation where it was just steady income, because income from the building was coming in, so he could hide child that he's using that to supplement her income, because him just giving her outright gobs of cash, he couldn't just keep doing that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, he always had money. What
I'm saying is he always had money, but what I'm saying is he ain't always had the money where you could open up a freaking arena and stadium.
Yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying is, they were always the elite family on the island.
I understand that, really, but what I'm saying is he even remarked himself that he took the business and the company to a whole different stratosphere and level, and there are expectations when you do get to the 3 Comma Club, because in order to be building an arena or stadium, and having that arena or stadium named after your company, you are clearly 3 Comma Club.
All right. Well, we'll listen. Like I said, maybe we'll find out later on.
That's just a suggestion. We don't know that they didn't benefit because she didn't tell them she had the building, so we don't know. If money was coming in, she was using that to supplement their lives. They don't know that at this point.
Yeah. So we'll put a check in that, and maybe after episode, because at the rate they going, we'll know that answer by episode 2.
Episode 4.
Girl. Okay. Did you get whiplash from how fast we went?
Okay.
Can I just say I love Morris Chestnut, but I felt like he was so misty. I don't know. Something is off. I
think all of the male characters are written poorly. I don't like how they've written any of the male characters on this show. I
don't like that they tried to Shonda Rhimes us with Joe Morton in that speech, and I felt like it was rushed, and it didn't have the onus, like we know who this man is, so we understand how he would come off like this. It just came out of left field.
I'm gonna say this. I loved the Papa Pope moment, but I do feel like they cheated by basically just writing Papa Pope, because that was a whole Papa Pope moment. There was no originality at all. Like you're right. He went through his old scripts from Scandal and found that speech, because it was so
right. But even on Scandal, the first time we saw him and Olivia, they were in the hangar, and he gave her the hell and high water speech.
Right, he was like, I am the hell.
But at that point, they had built him up so much that when we got there, it paid it off. But here, we've seen this man for 32 seconds, and then all of a sudden, he's gone into this big dramatic, and we wait, what happened? How did we get here? What are you talking about? Then he talk about he done shaved the thing down, so everybody is looking up at him. It's much.
And the problem with that part. You had him here at the first half of the episode, and then in the latter half of the episode, which we'll get to, it's the polar opposite. It's a complete 180. That shit didn't make fucking sense, but we'll get there.
I don't know if we ever gonna get there, but go ahead.
Oh, can we get to meeting?
Well, if y'all would stop talking, we can get there.
No, we talk about how they don't write the male characters, right? And so when we first meet the DuPonts, okay?
We ain't got there yet. I'm trying to get there, ElTeddy.
And that's where I'm transitioning to.
But I'm not done. Calm down.
Wait, we can't transition yet. Hold on.
Calm down.
We out of practice. We out of rhythm because we ain't done
Lord have no, we ain't out of practice. This is what we do. This is
I'm trying to.
Listen, I'm steady trying to.
Hey, you try to stay
so
here.
What I was saying was, all of that information we got. We also find out that Angela has been invited to a party that is the kickoff of the summer season down on the island. Now,
but that happens after we meet.
Oh my God!
That happens after we meet the DuPonts, though.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
Actually, they get off of the private jet and get into the car, and that's when we meet the DuPonts before the party happens.
No. What? Let me go get my motherfucking notes.
No, you don't need to go get your notes. What you need to do is let me run my panel. That's what you need to do.
So now it's your panel. Now it's your panel. We ain't
it's
shit.
On my panel.
This is what happens when you try to talk with family. This is how you know we all actually love each other.
No.
Fight for me. That's better than the damn
DuPont. No. I got my notes. We meet the DuPonts before they even get to the goddamn building. When they left, we went from the beach. We met the goddamn DuPonts.
ElTeddy, listen. What I'm saying is, I'm doing this my way. That's what I'm saying.
What's the good, Jonathan? What's good, Fi?
Oh, God. Not stop yelling at his brother.
Oh, you gotta be lucky I'm not yelling at you.
Baby, let me be the very first. Don't get in between these two because it just never works out. You notice I'll never get in between the two of them. I just let them have whatever it is, and I throw in a quip every once in a while where it's punchy. I just let them have. Just don't even. It's not even.
She doesn't
want now.
It's out of order.
Now we see this private jet land. See, I was getting there. If you had checked that up, I was
I
cannot. Oh my God. Now I need to drink. Hold on. Let me go get water.
Just know that. Just know that. Oh, dear God.
Let me grab some water. Oh, Jesus.
So now we meet the DuPont Franklin clan. And we meet Layla and her husband, Morris Chestnut, and they two children. And their two children are giving very much millennial. You know, they got their phones out. They posting on the gram. Yada, yada, yada. Boo, da, boo, da, boo, bee, da, bee, da, bee. What we find out is that Morris Chestnut is a DuPont. Layla was a Franklin. And the two families merged. You know, those two powerful families on the island. When the two of them got married, you know. We also found out that Layla is now the new leader of the what they call themselves, ElTeddy. Since you got your notes.
Gracities.
The Gracities, honey.
This is a stupid name, but okay.
It's very stupid.
It is, but there and that she is the incoming president, and Morris Chestnut's mother, aka her mama-in-law, is the outgoing president, and we see that the mother-in-law is already
her in the face.
The mother-in-law already got some shit with her. Like,
but let me say this. Give me 1.5 minutes. My problem is I hate how the members of the Rainbow Coalition in Hollywood, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and the rest of the members of the Rainbow Coalition that's in Hollywood do not know how to effectively and adequately write male characters. Just like it's so they go so overboard with the black female characters that they become caricatures. That's how way outlandish and overboard they are, because they overwrite those characters. But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, the male characters, oftentimes it doesn't make sense, or they're just a shell of what that character should be. Because you would think that with Raymond DuPont, who is the father of this family, who is the male figure of this family, who clearly, as what we're supposed to believe, he is supposed to have come from this big elite family, and he's supposed to be running shit. Just how his character is written, or even the son is written in his character. And you talked about this really be all they did for Frank, the Leah's dad is copied from Shonda Rhimes.
Right.
So I don't know that they know how to write an effective male role, because I just don't understand Morris Chestnut's character or his positioning or what is going. It's just, and maybe it's
well, I think
he felt very flat, very one notish.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, maybe because this is the first episode, we'll get more layers to him as it goes on. But right now, something's it's not clicking for me right now. Like something's off, and I can't.
So from where I'm sitting, I feel like Morris Chestnut's character, there's a lot more that we're going to learn. I feel like, because did you see the look he gave her when she told him my father retired? Did you see that look? And I feel like there's a slow burn. I don't know if he's purposefully playing the character flat, but I do feel like there's a slow burn. I think there's a whole.
There's also a backstory, because when they talked about rekindling their marriage,
getting their marriage back on track,
getting everything back on track, because obviously he had been doing some things that had done went off and did, and he probably.
Why do we assume it was him? Why do we assume it was the man?
Huh?
I said, why are we assuming that it was the man? Maybe she did something to run maybe she did something.
I thought he said that he.
No, he said for us to get our marriage back on track. They never said who. They never said what happened and why. They just said to get our marriage back on track. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it could very well be that he cheated on her. I don't know. But so we find out that the party that night is being hosted by Layla, and that her mother-in-law, like I said, as soon as she get her ass off that plane, is digging in it, trying to figure out, what took y'all so long to get here? I thought I was gonna have to host this tonight by myself. Yada yada yada, boo boo boo. Then we find out, because again, I'm going in my order. What is Angie's friend's name that got her the invitation to the party?
Josephine. That's my favorite character so far. Even though she does all the wrong thing and she's stupid.
Well, damn. Well, what? Damn, what she do? Damn.
Because first of all, if you're in a organization like the Gracities, which she clearly is a part of, as a member of these organizations, you vouching for someone or bringing someone in is the biggest power that you have. So you're not nilly-willy bringing some person in that could make your name mud within the organization, because you yourself had to fight so hard to get into the organization. So if it were me, and most people, when you recommend somebody, when you tell them, boo, now is not the time, that is it. You're like, listen, I know you real hype. I know you want to do this, but girl, you gonna wait. Because I'm not gonna have you mess my whole name up and mess my reputation up because you hot in the ass and you real hyped about it. Girl, wait. And she just so gracious. Okay, I guess I'll just nominate you. And that's just generally not how that works. Well, I need the backstory of those two. How did they become friends?
Well, that's what I was going to say. We don't know anything about their friendship. We don't know. I was
about to say, if they're friends on that level, why would she think that she would do that to drag her name down?
But if they're friends on their level, and she knew that there wasn't going to be a problem, she wouldn't have had those. She would have said, "Girl, yes, I'm here for it, girl. I already, you know what I'm saying." And if you know your friend wants to be a part, you immediately say, when she said, "Girl, I want to get in the Gracie," you said, "Girl, let's do it. Let's do it." But she had her own apprehension that said, "No, it ain't good. I don't know if you should. I don't know about right now." And then she said, "Well, I guess you talked me into it." That's not how that works. That's just not how that works. I don't know.
Okay. So what we find out is, okay, so that's what happened. So we find out that Nikki, the daughter, that's when we found out she was the daughter. We find out that Nikki got into a little bit of trouble. And Nikki got kicked out of school and had some criminal charges. So that is definitely going to play a part. And it's even in this episode, that plays a part. And that's very interesting for us to find out. So Josephine got them the invitation to the party. So we see them at the party. Is that everything from before we get to the party? Anything else I want to mention?
Which party? The boat party or the
first, the
first one?
Party. Okay. First party.
The original party. All right. So we see them at the party. Now Nikki runs into the churn. I didn't commit the churn name to memory, but the churn. The daughter is absolutely a bitch to Nikki. The son was trying to hit on Nikki, and Taylor, now I remember Taylor's name. Taylor was nice to Nikki and was like, girl, why don't you come through? We having a yacht party tomorrow night. I think you should come through. And we found out Nikki got a little bit of bite with her because she threw a couple of jabs at the daughter a little bit. And everybody seemed to enjoy that. Okay, Quincy, Lauren, and Taylor. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Quincy. I know the son's name is Quincy.
You would.
Of course.
So Quincy,
called them thing 1 and thing 2 and the day one. I
feel like Lauren is jealous that the lesbian Taylor kind of was looking at Nikki too, like, okay, I like you. I feel like that's why Lauren got more jealous. And I probably would venture to guess it was probably Taylor that said, "Oh, let's go over there," and Lauren caught her looking at Mama the whole way over there. I don't think it had anything to do with Quincy. I think it had more so to do with Taylor and Taylor's interest in Nikki more so than Quincy's interest in Nikki.
I don't believe that to be the case. I think that she is just as possessive over her brother as she is over baby girl. Like,
I just think Lauren's a bitch. I think anybody that she deems as not a part of their circle. She grew up in Jack and Jill. She grew up in that environment, in that lifestyle. And I think anybody that did not grow up with them that she deems is outside of the circle, I just think she ain't got no time for it. I don't think it helped that Taylor seemed to, but I think she walked over there with an attitude. Like, I just think she's a bitch.
Before Taylor even got over there.
Yeah, I just think she's a bitch. That's just me.
Now, Xavier, I see your comment. I don't come into situations immediately thinking one way or another, gay, straight, or anything about a character. So I just don't automatically think that Quincy don't necessarily give me gay, up front. I just don't get that. Now it could be. I'm not saying he can't, but that's not automatically where I go, oh yeah, he must be. I don't get, If he interested in Nikki, go ahead with your bad self. You know what I'm saying? He has nothing has gone off in my DAR. My DAR hasn't started ringing alarms yet. Not yet.
Right. So then we see a conversation between Angie and Josephine. And going back to ElTeddy's point he just made a few minutes ago, once again, Angie wants to meet the hostess, wants to meet Layla, and Josephine tells her, girl, chill out. You coming on too strong. You're moving too fast. And she insists, and she goes and introduces herself to Layla and her husband. And again, a couple of things we find out in this conversation. One, we find out that that Angie has also applied for some sort of small business sponsorship through the DuPont company.
And later on find out that she took out a few loans just for them to even come up there.
Right. Yeah, she's overextended. She's absolutely overextended. Okay. And then she was talking to Layla, and you can tell that Layla, again, there's a dislike. She already ain't feeling her. I don't know if it was the extended conversation she had with more.
Right.
Because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, girl, you doing a little too much yapping with her husband.
Right. That's why I felt like Leah came at her like, girl, because she was real with her husband.
Yeah,
And Leah looked like bitch.
Especially if there was some infidelity on his part and they trying to get their marriage back on track. You was doing too much. She was doing way too much for me. I thought I was waiting because again, if that had been me, I don't care like you or don't like you, I probably would have been looking at you sideways too. Like I'm gonna need you to back up off my husband. Like,
girl, first of all, this is my party. Girl, this whole thing is my girl. I could throw you right on out of here right now with the drop of a word.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
No, because she came on real hard. And Josephine had all, and that's why it's just the writing was real disjointed for me, because you got all of these things that all of these people telling you no, and then you are literally, you came into this from the beginning. We see that you're begging to be embraced by these people, but all of your actions are actions of someone looking to be embraced by these people. You're pretty much going, thinking that your best way in is a windmill with the, like we in prison, and you gonna go fight the, hardest person in there just to show you got, balls and stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't make sense how she's.
That's not how it came across to me. It felt like it felt really tried too hard. Like, I'm really trying to put my best foot forward and ingratiate myself into this situation, but it was a misstep because these people that ain't have
it was
like a normal situation where it wasn't a bunch of hoity-toity people with sticks up their ass, then I could see that conversation going a different way. But because the people feel like they shit don't stink, and how dare this peon come up and talk to us, and she wants to hand me a paper check, the ghetto.
And it was only for $125, ma'am. You need to add commas. You need to add some commas.
I couldn't even read the amount, but I saw that it was just a 3-digit. No,
and like, read the room, ma'am. Read the room. Ain't nobody in here giving no checks that don't have commas, ma'am.
Right, and listen, even just watching, when you first saw this type of party, you knew that this was, let me get myself together. You know what I'm saying? Let me, act right. You know what I'm saying? And the way she came at it was like, girl, what you think you at? And she came probably with her wrinkled up check for like less than $1,000. And girl, like, proudly, like, girl, here's my check.
Right, like she really did the damn thing. I was like, ma'am, like you opened yourself up to that. You opened yourself up to that type of embarrassment. Okay. I didn't even feel bad for her, because I was like, first of all, your girl already told you don't do it. And then you did it anyway, and you opened yourself up to that embarrassment. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it. So we also meet another character at this meeting, Lance Gross, who, what's his name? Terrell.
Tyreek.
Zaddy.
Zaddy T. Now, y'all help me. Y'all help me. I said this on my review because I need help from my women folk. I done been to a lot of upscale parties. I done been to parties from the elite of the elite to the gutter of the gutter. And never at any of these parties that I go to do the women's heels be breaking like that.
Oh, it happens.
I'm not saying it don't happen. But I damn sure don't think that they finna be walking around barefoot for the rest of the goddamn party.
What the hell you supposed to do?
I don't know.
Normally, if I have heels and I'm at like a function that is going to be there for a while, there is like, I have a little pair of ballerina flats that are rolled up into my purse. Like, so if my feet be like, hey bitch, that's it, it's over, you can go and let this go.
I have literally, because the reality of the situation is, even the most expensive shoes, shit just happens sometimes. So it happens. And now the reality of the situation is, when it happens, like, you still got to get to your car. Even if you leave immediately, you got to go. I've done it before where I've like walked on my tippy toes because I didn't want nobody to know the heel broke. I've taken my shoes off. Like, it just depends on the situation where
I don't wear heels. I don't know. I probably don't be paying attention to the women anyway. So that just makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter how expensive the shoe is. Sometimes shit just breaks. It just is what it is.
That is why I asked the question, because I don't know the women.
And in her case, it looked like it got stuck, right? Didn't it get stuck?
Right. It looked like she went to take a step back and it got caught, and then it
and then it ripped off. Yeah, so it happens. No, she didn't leave that right away, did she?
Walk around barefoot for a considerable amount of time, right?
I mean, well, it was a garden party. It was at night. It was summertime. I mean, shit.
I'm just not about.
And I prefer to be barefoot, so it wouldn't have been an issue for me either.
I mean, again,
her dress was long enough to cover the fact that she was barefoot.
Yeah, now let me be clear. I probably would have started making my way to my car at that point, but I just took them damn shoes off and walked my happy ass right to my car. Outside event in the summertime, yeah, we good. But like Ebbie said, I probably would have had some flip flops in my purse or something, child. Anyway. So that's how they meet each other, because her heel breaks and he helps her out, yada, yada, yada. They get the flirty. Boom. So that was the first night. So the next day is when we find out about
we went to the boardroom. I think we went to the
the boardroom was, so the next day is when we get the whole boardroom scene. Mm-hmm. So what we find out is that Layla is
Leah.
She'll get it at the end of the season. Moving on.
The woman's name is Leah. God. Leah.
So what we find out is that
Leah.
Now don't make me put you backstage.
Why did I agree to come over here if I'm gonna be abused?
Because you love me.
Love us. I understand. You are because you love me. You brought your ass over here.
The abuse that I have to endure.
It's been a long time since we've done a Friday night breakdown. So we see the boardroom scene. That's when we meet Joe Morton, Papa Pope, aka Teddy DuPont or Teddy Franklin.
Franklin
or Big Daddy Longstroke, because he.
Wait, no, I don't even want to know that he has anything long or that is stroking. I don't want no part.
Clearly, he fathering children all over town.
I'm sure he is, but I don't want to know. I don't.
And you can't tell me that's not gonna be his only child. I don't.
Somebody, yeah, he got another one roaming around. Another one. Child. So we find out immediately that there's some friction between her and her daddy, because he walks in there, they give the fake smiles and she mumbles under her breath. He put his arm around her and she mumbles under her breath, "Get your arms off me." And so the meeting, and we find out that he is building, like ElTeddy said, stadiums, that the company is building stadiums and they doing some big things. We see Morris Chestnut is also at the table. So we now know that Morris Chestnut works for the company as well, which is another reason why I feel like Morris Chestnut is very privy to what's going on, what Daddy, what Papa is doing. He's the right-hand man. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the way they making these family be trumped up or whatever, sorry for that, euphemism. I feel like his family will be just as powerful. And his character is now taking this back seat. And I don't know. It just.
But again, we don't know. I mean, maybe he went to go work. Like, we don't know what his family's business is. We know that his family was powerful and clearly has money, but we don't know what the business is. Like, again, hopefully that's something that they clear up for us and we get that backstory. But right now, what we know is that, and what we also, something is going on where Layla is just coming back into the boardroom. Leah is just coming back into the boardroom. So something with that as well.
So
she came in and whispered to her daddy, "I know all the skeletons or whatever." She said, "Girl, sit down." Because my point that I made in my review was, all of the skeletons that if they're going to take the company down, that's not in your best interest either, dear one. I'm just saying.
Okay, so like I was saying before he went off on that tangent, it's giving me very much this DuPont, what's the other people's name? Franklin marriage. Maybe the DuPonts were in favor and rich and doing all these things at one point, and maybe the family fell off, and the marriage was a coming together, a power merge, and them coming together with the Franklins having new money, and the DuPont having no money. So they made that alliance happen.
And I think maybe something happened, and Raymond coming to work for Franklin was a part of, hey, y'all had this happen, y'all had this schedule, y'all want us to help keep y'all name up, y'all gonna have him work for us. You know what I'm saying? Like something happened, and that was a consolation prize that the Franklin wanted to extend. Hey, we friends, we road dogs or whatever, and I want to help keep y'all in power. But in order to do that, we taking the lead, and y'all gonna, take the back. Gonna keep y'all up here though. I feel like it's giving like that too.
Morris Chestnut is giving very lapdog do boy in that.
And I feel like the actor Morris Chestnut would not just take that type of role. I feel like we're gonna find out a lot more. Like I feel like Morris Chestnut's character.
We don't know that it's COVID. We don't know what his money look like.
I was gonna say, like, when the last time
I maybe people who read the book will be able to shed more light for us. But I feel like that character, there's a lot more with his character than we've seen so far. Like I really feel like it's a lot going on with his character. That's why I feel like it's probably one of those, I'm here for this. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, that's when we got the whole, boardroom speech when she was threatening him, talking about, I found out you've been doing dirty and you've been, and what we do find out, and this is something that we're going to see later on, the duality of her character, because he says to her, well, you're going to be able to build your city, and you always want to give to, you always got this charity mindset. And so making it seems like that she very much, like you thought at that party that her giving to charity was just lip service. Like that's what these organizations do. They have these big elaborate parties in the name of charity, and the charity see 10% of whatever. You know what I mean? But then he makes it seem like he's really, really big on charity, and she has this vision of like building her own city or something crazy. And so we see them get into this back and forth, and that's when she threatens him about, I found out you were greasing palms to build this stadium. And I'm with ElTeddy. That's so unrealistic, because the reality of the situation is most big businesses, that's what they do. Like you got to get the permits, you got to make sure that the right people agree to do the right things. Like we've seen it happen time and time again when these sports teams build these brand new stadiums. It happens. Like that's just, I'm not saying
that's how you play that whole game.
Right. So for her to act like she was so naive to it, and she was so appalled by what her father did, I thought was disingenuous too.
And that's why he said to her, have you not learned anything? Sit right here at my right hand. What you been doing?
Right.
What you been paying attention to? That's how this works.
Yeah.
That's a position. And I think he was saying to her, girl, you wouldn't even be in a position to even have this conversation with me about taking over a company had I not done all of these things. Like, girl, that was really.
She comes off as very inauthentic in those boardroom scenes. I don't believe her as like this big boss broad. Like it's not giving me something.
I feel you. It's something off. It's something off.
But no, my thing is, and she doesn't come off as alpha dog or a primary leader, because even in what she does with the Gracities, the mother-in-law tell her, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Because this is not how this goes. This is not how you run things. Even when and I know I'm going ahead, and I apologize now really, because you're gonna be mad. But even when she took over and said, oh, I just decided that I was gonna be stylist or whatever, I would have looked, you gonna be what? I don't give a shit. I told you were gonna do the goddamn snack. Take your
especially if you are quote unquote a pledgee. Like, no, ma'am.
Girl, you're not telling me.
No.
So if she was supposed to go back to do the snacks, and who was gonna do the people here?
It don't matter. That wasn't the place.
It does not matter. That's not her place. A person trying to get in this organization, you ain't going to the president, the number one person, telling them what you gonna do, going off and having back and forth with them. That's not how that works.
Because you'll never get in.
Organization.
You'll never get in.
You will never. You're not back and forth. She was having real legitimate
Now, what she could have done was gone to somebody and said, listen, the glam squad didn't show up. Now my services are still available, but you better be pouring some punch while you're doing it.
Exactly. Now, if it would have been where Josephine went to Leah and said, hey, Leah, the people that come up, I know Angie is good for it. She can make this happen. I think we should put her in there. That is believable. But her going in here like she making demands to the president. First of all, it's so many chains of command, because if you're having an event of that size, the president is not over. She's going to have a chair of that event that she will have running that. And so before you even get to talking to the president, you're going to talk to whoever's chairing this event.
How do we know she didn't?
Because we know she didn't.
No, we don't know that. All we know is that, first of all, Leah was late to the whole situation.
Oh, you mean how do we know she didn't have a conversation about the glam?
Yeah.
I guess we don't.
Because
but no,
clearly there was
but Ebbie, when she
let her finish. ElTeddy, let her finish. ElTeddy, let her finish.
Okay, so let's look at the logistics of how long this would have had to have been going before they was like, because she had done several heads, and what she was doing is not like a 15-minute, 20-minute hairdo. So this had been going on for hours. So the stylist should have been there hours before.
We don't know.
They were all there early to set up and prep for all of this situation, and for the stylist to show up and for her to jump in. First of all, I don't understand why it's an issue. I'm sorry. I come from the school of the final product is all that matters. How we actually got to, if something goes wrong, pick it up and fix it so that we can continue, so it can continue to run smoothly. All this, you got to check with this child. If that's your skill set, and the other person did not show up.
Ebbie, go ahead, ElTeddy, go ahead.
What I'm going to say is, Ebbie, you're making assumptions. You said, we don't know that she's been doing. Only person we knew that she did was Josephine. That's it. We don't know that she did anybody else. And the thing about it is, like I said, if she did talk to the chairwoman, if she did talk to somebody else.
Well, how did the other people get their hair done? If the stylist, if the hairstylist person never showed up.
Because there was a time lapse. You know what I'm saying? There was a time lapse from when she started working on that president until when the event started, I'm sure. But my point is this. Even if she did go to someone else, she would have said that I heard about first. When the president said, what are you doing? And she would have said, oh, I talked to so-and-so, and they said it was okay. But the way she came at Leah was very combative. Like, girl, you need me. I don't need you. So, girl, you going to let this happen. And there was no, oh, I did talk to so-and-so, and she told me it was okay. And that's why I'm here. That's not how organizations of this magnitude works at all.
Know. I've never. And
that's what I'm trying to explain to you. But I'm explaining to you every year.
And if that's how it flows, I don't want it.
Well, but that's fine, Ebbie. But what he's saying isn't wrong. It's just
I never said that he wasn't wrong. I'm saying I don't want it.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, when you are pledging, whether it's a fraternal organization, whether it's a Masonic organization, whether it's just a damn, non-Panhellenic fraternal organization, there's just a process. There's a hierarchy. There's a process. And all I'm saying in that moment is that scene, the way it played out, was not realistic.
And really, I'm going to put it to this, even if it's not a fraternal organization, even if it's just people having an event, Mama, if I told you to work with Snacks is on the whole other side of the building, boo. Why are you even back here to even know what is going on with the hair or whatever? Because I told you to be over here with Snacks, which means that something went awry when you back here with us, where the things are going on, as opposed to not being where you're supposed to be. Because now who's doing Snacks?
And somebody may have come and got her saying, listen, Glam didn't come. You volunteered. We know you do hair, but like ElTeddy said,
who's doing
she would have known. Somebody would have told her.
It doesn't go like that, and this has nothing to do with it being an organization. It's just that if I've done set up all of these, this is who's doing this, and this, and you back here doing such and such. Who's doing your job now? Because now you need to be explaining to me how we gonna get snacks done, or who.
We didn't jump. Listen, we just skipped over everything. I don't know how the hell we got to the damn fashion show because we didn't skipped over the meeting where Layla gets the gavel and she's now officially president. We find out, and this was the first thing that was a little disingenuous to me. Now the night before, we see Angela begging Josephine to nominate her, and then at the meeting, not only has she been nominated, but we find out she's already been interviewed. And I was like, but when did all these interviews take place? Like,
they haven't yet. She said,
everybody's been interviewed.
No, that's not what they said. They said that their interviews will be, all of the interviewees will have interviews throughout the summer and we'll be watching.
No, I thought
I don't think they got
interviewed. Said everybody has been interviewed, and now we will be watching you throughout the summer.
Right after. This was right after.
Okay, so we're going to talk this up again, right? Because that doesn't make any damn sense.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my point, is that don't even make no sense.
Josephine stood up and said, I nominate Angela Vaughn. And that's when the older lady said, well, we don't even know who you are. You need to tell us something about yourself. Right. And that's when she lied on mama and everything.
And then she said,
did I say I didn't like that old lady? She something about her got
I was here for the old lady. I was here for her.
Well, the old lady, listen, let's be clear. The old lady knows exactly who Angela Ass is. I'm convinced of that.
Oh, yeah, she knows that man child. She
knows exactly who he is, okay? And that's why she keeps telling Layla, you need to get her ass out of town as soon as possible. Necessary.
But I think we did skip because the night before is when the yacht party happened and when the party at Tariq's house happened.
So wait a minute. Okay, so hold on.
Right.
Say what? What happened?
He right. The yacht party did happen.
The yacht party and Tariq's party happened the night before. Like this, how much happened in one episode.
That's right, because they did a moment of silence for Taylor.
All of this happened in one episode.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It was too much. So you're right. So let's rewind. So let's go to the yacht party. Let's rewind. We get to the yacht party. Nikki does show up to the yacht party and she sees Taylor. And as soon as she sees Taylor drops her phone in her bag. Now, at first I was like, what the hell I thought they were setting Nikki up at first.
Right.
Oh Lord, they about to set Nikki up, that she didn't try to say she stole something off the yacht. Is what I thought was going to happen.
I'm with you on that. But really, B, and you hit me to this game, really, B, because like I said, I'm not hip to persons and women's stuff. But I feel like a big ass phone like that has a little bit of heft to it. And if somebody dropped it, and she had like a soft purse, looked like it was made out of yarn or whatever. When you drop something like that in a purse, I feel like you're going to feel that push down, and you're going to be like, wait.
It depends on the purse. It depends
on the same thing.
That's why I think really,
Ebbie, you know the kind of purses I carry. I lose shit all the time.
Listen.
I don't know. Listen, y'all gotta hit me to that. I don't care.
You know I lose shit all the time in my purse, okay?
Because
that's not even a purse. That is a whole
satchel. I have a little leather satchel or man bag or whatever you want to call it. And listen, a feather or a penny could drop in there, and I immediately feel like, bitch, what was that?
No,
that's how I am. That's how I am about my bag.
That won't even register for us. That's depending on the purse. It won't even register that somebody put something in our purse.
Yeah, it won't. No, it
wouldn't even.
And my book bag, I'm real protective about my book bag. So you could brush about my book bag. Excuse me, why you touching me? I touched your bag. You touched me. You touched my bag. What we talking about that already?
Anyway, so at the yacht party, we see that Taylor is a little drunk, and we see her write lies across the picture of the family of the DuPont Franklin family. But we see Nikki having a good time. She dancing And I don't, did we actually see her take a drink? But I guess the assumption is that she did take a drink.
Yeah, we never saw her drink. We saw her drink at the party that they went to. The first party when the
boy said to get her some vodka.
Yeah, right. At the first party, we saw her take a drink.
But we didn't see her at the yacht party.
Right. So next thing you know, we see Lauren screaming over the side of the boat, yelling for Taylor.
Nobody else actually heard her.
I didn't hear no. Did you? I mean, did anybody hear anybody hit the water or anything? Like, I don't know.
No, we ain't hit the water.
It was already over. By the time us and Nikki got up there, she was already in the water.
But nobody else heard Lauren screaming because nobody else ran up there. Nobody else ran up there to see what was going on.
And probably
nobody heard no splash when she hit the water.
I mean, it was a party, y'all. Y'all know it's music and all that.
I understand that, but somebody, the way Lauren was screaming, somebody should have heard Lauren screaming at somebody, not just Nikki by herself. Girl.
Well, Nikki only heard it because she was coming up the stairs. She was going her way to the observation.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, so there's that. And now, while that's going on.
First of all, before we skip over that, I would just like to say, in what country is it, in what city, what state do you allow, there's an accident that happens and
wait, no, wait, Abby, you don't get that. No, Abby.
We're right there. What you mean?
You talk about with the police?
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Let us get there. Oh, we go get there. Because I got a whole tirade about that part. What the fuck was that?
So while that's going on, Tyreek had invited Angie to a party. He had sent her some red bottoms to replace the shoes that broke. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute
too. I thought it was real cute. I thought it was also cute that she didn't wear them to the party and was like, I can buy my own shoes. I thought that was cute too. So she goes to the party. They get to flirting. Now, before she went to the party, Peggy and Josephine was teasing her about how it's been 17 years since
she got a confinement in her cooch.
But next thing you know, she is slobbing this man down that she just met 5 minutes ago at the party.
Can I say it was giving me very Joyce Ann from that Tyler Perry play, who had Big Happy Family, and she got a makeover. And she was like, you got to do something to me. And the mother and the aunt Bam was like, let him do it to you.
Hey, little baby. Girl. So now while they slobbing each other down, now mind you, once again, Angela is new on the island, trying to get in with the elite people on the island, and she is the whole party slobbing some dude down she just met out in front of everybody. I'm just saying. And we also found out that Tyreek is from humble beginnings on the island. He was born and raised on the island, but he's also from humble beginnings. And I think that's going to come into play. The fact that he is born and raised on the island, I think that's going to be a connection later on. I don't think that's her brother or nothing, but I just think that's going to be.
I want to know when his wife's going to show up.
Can one of our mods take care of Jetpack Laser Penis? Because I just don't like his name. Please do something with him. I don't know. Whoever's about
please and thank you. So that's when she gets the phone call from the yacht party from Nikki saying, Mama, get your ass down here to the dock, okay? That is where we see the whole fuckery that is Taylor done fell her ass over the side of the boat. They don't know where she is. Can't nobody find her. We got Layla and Layla, whatever. To the hospital. And Morris Chestnut. She did go to the hospital. Okay.
Yeah, they said that.
And Morris Chestnut. And then we got Angela show up, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all can head out.
Okay, before you go into your sugar spike, I would just like, because I can feel it come. I can feel it from here. Okay, I'm gonna pass it to you in a minute. But in what
bizarre world?
In what world Does there be a whole accident where someone has to leave and go to the hospital, and the only two witnesses that you have for this whole incident, their parents said, no, you can't talk to them, so you just let it go and let them go home. What, where, how, when, whosoever.
Oh, Geeky Girl said, why wasn't she invited to the party? You watched the show, girl? Come on.
Well, you watch the show, I'll get you the next time. Hey, Geeky Girl.
Hey, boy. Hey. I would just like to say, from having personal experience with the police in an accidental situation,
you ain't going nowhere. And if your parents
they're not going to talk to you. There's no. Well, I just
all of that. My daughter is going home. Go happen from the police want you to understand that station.
The police do not care. They want the answers that they want, and they want them.
No. Ebbie, you know, like I know, they would have been calling their parents from the police station. Please be clear. They would have been calling their parents from the goddamn docks. They would have been calling their parents from the police station.
I want to be very clear. I was still in the hospital, sitting with my son's body, and the police came and said, "Can we talk to you?" And
they do not care. They do not care. They don't care about you breathing. They don't care about your tears. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about any of it. Baby, we need this statement right now.
So this is what I'm going to say. First of all, I'm going to say Lauren said, sugar rush, ElTeddy, no more snacks until this meeting is adjourned.
I'm trying to regulate my sugar intake, Lauren. You need to have goddamn fact.
So that's first of all. Second of all, I want to say this. If the scenario had gone like this, they let, what's the little girl named Lauren? They let Lauren go home because her family is who her family is, and they run that fucking island. But they made Nikki stay because her mama is a nobody. I might have even gave you that because I might
have gave you that.
I might, because even if the family said, "Listen, we're taking our daughter home. You can come to the house and talk to her tomorrow," but she's tired, and if they had pulled the rich black people card, but Nikki took her happy ass down to that police station, but when Angela made it seem like she flexed her muscles, and you better be lucky that girl. No, you're nobody. Nobody on this island. Fuck, you've been there 24 hours. Nobody knows who you are.
Don't you?
Like, you don't get to walk away, ma'am.
Fuck. Like, how?
Hey, everybody in the chat. I see some people are coming in. Hey, you guys. Hi.
Hey, everybody. And then to make y'all are the elite of the elite family on the island. You better believe every news station within the area would have been right down there because somebody who knows the daughter or son that was at this party. Who was the adult on board? Who?
You know, you're making an assumption. That's a big assumption to make that there would be an adult on board.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If they had said, oh, we know who this family is, because let's remember, Taylor is a part of their clique too. She's Jack and Jill and all of that. So again, we're talking about. So if that had been the case, then I would have been like, we're talking about the show, our kind of people that debuted on Fox on what was that, Wednesday, Tuesday night?
I think it was.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, everybody. For those who are coming in late and don't know what we're talking about. So that's the only way I'm going to make an excuse for that scene. But other than that, we all know that is not how that shit would have went down.
That's not how this works. No. This is police. Somebody could be dead. We don't even know if she's dead because when they went to the Grace and T's meeting, she was saying, "Let's have a moment of silence for Taylor, whatever her name is." And so I was like, "Is she dead?" Like last time we know.
Now Ebbie's fine. I don't know. Y'all know Ebbie. Y'all know Ebbie. She talking about my ADD. You know, Ebbie be doing 3-4 other things when we on live. Ebbie fine, child. Ebbie fine.
I was like, "Wait, is she dead? Like, what happened?"
Right, that's why I was like, because I didn't even hear the part about the hospital. I missed that altogether.
Right, I remember them saying she was at the hospital, but now we're concerned with how this happened. I remember the police.
Yes, I distinctly remember Them saying that she was at the hospital.
Well, no, other people told me that too. So I was like, all right, I just missed it. Okay. So we get back to the house, and that's when we find out that Nikki not only got kicked out of school when she got in a little bit of trouble, her trouble was connected to drugs. Now, and she's on probation because her mother, Angie, said something about, girl, you were looking at jail time, ma'am. You were looking at jail time. Okay.
And they said she was in a diversion program or something like that.
Right. And diversion usually means alcohol or drugs, because that's what it was. Because let's rewind to that. Lauren lied, just outright lied, and said she wasn't up there. She wasn't with Taylor when she fell. She don't know what Nikki talking about. Nikki is a liar. She got alcohol in her breath. She's drunk. So my thing was this: using that as an example, Nikki, I don't even know why you tried to be cool with that girl at the fashion show, but we're gonna get there in a second. But I don't even know why. Like, she shows you who she was.
Like, that was way out of left field. We'll get there in a second. We'll get there. We'll get there.
So that's what happened. So she told her she was grounded, but she made her go to the Grace of These meeting with her the next day, child. So that's when we're at the meeting. We see Layla, what's the bitch name?
Leah.
We see Leah get the gavel. Now, y'all are saying in the chat that she didn't become president, but they said that
it was a transfer of power.
Right, she's the president. So, right, she's the incoming president. Her mother-in-law is the outgoing president, and we know that her mother, that Leah's mother, had been president. Now, well, Leah's mother must be dead.
Yes.
She must be dead. Yeah. And the thing about it is, she is the president. The mother-in-law said, I now hand over. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They probably had an election already.
And that was the power of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Right. Is president.
Right. Because just like in the presidential, just like in presidential election, you have the election, but there isn't an official transfer of power until a little bit later. I know, organizations that I'm in, you have your election, and then you have to go through a process. Anyway, so I feel like that's what happened, that they had an election, and Leah is the incoming president. And so, yeah. We also found out, we already talked about the nominations and her being nominated. We found out that there's a mother-daughter fashion show the next fucking day.
That makes sense.
And again, I say, being a part of an organization that has a fashion show every freaking year, which
you're not going to assign people to roles
it's months. Do you know how long and how often we meet when it comes time for a fashion show? First of all, you wouldn't have been waiting to get glam. Like, the whole conversation about glam is mute. You would have already had glam long. Like, there would have been a whole refreshment committee. Like, that shit just doesn't happen overnight.
Especially with the type of budget that these people are probably working with, the venues and all that. That shit just does not happen like that.
And exactly, we already talked about the whole interview situation. We talked about that, child.
The pledges would have been over some menial job. It wouldn't have been anything that would have been, you know what I'm saying?
They would have been working refreshments.
Exactly.
They would have been working refreshments. They'd have been taking
exactly what you was. We're gonna get these good snacks. Get some of these good
they'd have been taking tickets at the door. They'd have been working refreshments. Okay. They would have been on hospitality duty. Listen, they would definitely not been doing anything important. Nothing. Not at all.
So here's my question as a person who's not a part of any organizations. And if this is how organizations are run, I don't want to be a part of them. So here's my thing. So clearly there should have been a stylist there hours upon hours before, if they have to run through a mother and daughter sets, 3-4 sets of mothers and daughters to do all of these intricate hairstyles. You are a hairstylist and you see the need and you are trying to pledge in and get in good, ingratiate yourself with these people. Before you start shaking your head at me, nigga, let me finish my statement. Thank you. So you telling me it's better for me to just let y'all flounder? I got the skills, but would you like a donut or a petit four? Which would you prefer?
Let me help you out. It's just like at your job. If somebody no calls, no show, Your job is still to do what? You don't take it upon yourself and say, oh, I could do Janet's job over here, so I'm gonna just not do my job
how that works
that I'm getting paid
because
for.
we have patients at stake. That's not we can't do that.
Wait a minute.
We have to cover every. We have if somebody's out, we have to cover them.
What I'm saying is, if I have a role and a job, and my boss says your job is to do X, Y, and Z, and Janet's job is to do LMN. When Janet doesn't show up, you know what you're doing at that point? X, Y, and Z, because that's the job that your boss told you to do. When your boss gets there, you can then say, hey, boss, I can do L, M, and N. Do you mind? Would you like me to do that? Because I can help fill in that role to help that. Meanwhile, you still need to be doing your X, Y, and Z because that still needs to be done. And I'm not.
Well, let me say it like this. Let me
do that.
Let me say this, Ebbie. I hear your point, and your point, I understand what you're saying. But here's the thing. Are you listening? Hello? Oh. I'm listening. Well, I'm just, all I see is hair. Okay?
Don't do my, don't do.
Well, what I'm saying is this.
Don't do shopping.
Even if she did that, even if she saw, oh my God, it is total chaos in the back because the glam people have not shown up. All me and ElTeddy are saying at the very least, what you don't do is get nasty and disrespectful with the person who is in charge of the organization you are trying to become a part of. Even if she went to the right people, even if she just jumped in without asking and everybody was appreciative because she did have the skill set. What you don't do is get an attitude and get snippy and nasty with the person that you are in the process of. It's not even like she said, one day I want to be a member of this organization. You are literally, your name is on a list of people who are in the process of trying to. So all I'm saying is it wasn't in her best interest to have an attitude with the person that's going to be signing his name to the paper. I don't have
it. I wholeheartedly agree that she should not have had an attitude. I get that.
No, Ebbie,
wholeheartedly. But it's just not.
Wait a minute, ElTeddy, let her finish. And you can. I'll let you have the final word.
I understand what you're saying about her getting snappy in the attitude after everything was done, and you didn't even thank me and blah 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 and all of that. She did too much. I wholeheartedly agree. But for what I heard was that she should have just sat there and ate her cereal and let everything flop around her with all of this shit going on. And for me, who is that? Listen, I'm very introverted and antisocial, and I don't like people, so I'm never going to be in this particular situation. But I know I have been in situations before, and the mindset is always, as long as the end result needs to be whatever it is supposed to be.
And
you have to step in and fill in and to make sure that it goes smoothly. We'll take care of everything else on the back end. But as long as the presentation is correct as it goes out, we don't care if you were supposed to serve punch. If we need you to jump on the drums, you know how to do it. Get your ass on the drums, bitch, because the drummer didn't show up. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're missing the whole point. The point wasn't even the fact that she jumped in. The point was when the president of this organization came and asked what is going on, because all she know is it's supposed to be a stylist. The lady who did what you said was going to be done got an attitude with the person who is like, and she like, it's like, wait, hold the fuck on. What the fuck are you, why are you even here? And that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't work like that. You can't fight your way in there. Oh, I'm gonna help you whether or not you want me to. That's kind of how she went into it. Like, you gonna get this help.
So exactly. And the final word is, and we're gonna move on because we this is the second time we've had this conversation. The final word on the final word on the whole situation is, whether people like it or not, whether you like it or not, there is a level of humbling that you have to have when you're trying to join an organization that has an intake process. Whether you want to call it pledging, whether you want to call it initiation, whatever that term is. It's not it is what it is, and people can say what they want to say, but there's a certain level. And so all we're saying as people who have been through an intake process, all we're saying is there's a hierarchy, there's a process. And if the president told your ass to be on drinks, there was a process. Even if you saw the need and you call yourself stepping up, there's still a process. And when the person who asked you to pull a punch says, I'm trying to understand why you back here because I asked you to pull a punch, there is a way that you respond that is not disrespectful. That's it. That's all. Moving on. All right. So we have the fashion show. It's beautiful. The hair's forever. It's flowing. It's all down the back. It's very Mother Africa. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay.
Really me. Yeah. The comment section is giving me life eternal.
Yeah, the comment section.
This work. You go get this damn work. Because you go get this at work.
I missed it. I'm sorry, my daughter called me.
Just the comment section. Just read through the comments. Y'all cutting up down in that chat.
Oh.
Listen.
Not you gonna get this hair work.
You gonna get this hair work.
That's exactly what they gave.
Listen. Okay. So with that being said, after the fashion show is, oh damn, we missed the whole part. So the night of the yacht party, the night before, after Angela tells her daughter she punished or whatever, she goes upstairs and that's when she finds the phone in her purse. And she actually now this is the part that I was tripping. I wasn't tripping over the fact that Taylor dropped the phone in her purse and the girl didn't know about it. I was there was no security. Right. Not only was there no security password, but even if there was, you knew to go to videos. Like you knew to go straight to her videos.
Girl.
So anyway, she finds the video of Taylor and Lauren in a very suggestive situation, and basically the
concept is
kissing each other.
They was kissing.
It wasn't a suggestion; it was a full-blown idea.
You're gonna tell your family about me. Your family thinks I'm the bad influence. You need to let your family know what's really going on. And Lauren was like, "Okay, girl," which that's never gonna happen. It's not. So after the fashion show, this part I never understood. Nikki decides that she's gonna confront Lauren, and it's like she seemed like she was trying to be Lauren's friend, but then she showed Lauren the video. What reaction did you expect Lauren to give you? Lauren had already tried to get your ass arrested. She had already tried to get you
on the side of the boat just to keep the secret. Why did you think?
Right.
And my thing was, even the boat situation notwithstanding, I don't know you from a can of paint. Why do I trust you to say I'm gonna just give up all my information and these secrets that I know is gonna be detrimental to my status here on it? I know the inner workings of this community way better than you could ever know. Why am I just gonna nilly-willy trust you to say when you say, "Oh, you can tell me," girl? I don't know you.
And even that's going back to Taylor. Why would Taylor think like Lauren wasn't about to tell nobody now? Because again, you know this community and you know how it works. Girl, you knew Taylor wasn't about to say shit. I mean, Lauren wasn't about to say shit.
She was.
So the minute that happens, oh damn, I keep missing shit.
It was bumbling and clumsy. It was terrible writing.
It was terrible.
It was
kind of horrible acting as well. So it's just.
Put a pin in that.
Acting at all.
Put a pin in that. Let's rewind back to a little bit before the fashion show got started, where the mother-in-law goes up to what's her name? Leah. Why I can't get her name right? Anyway, she goes to Leah.
Really be your computer making that
Leah know that
really be you're making the noise.
Oh God!
It stopped.
The feedback. Well, it stopped.
Okay. You let Leah know that, you told Angela, listen, girl, you told Leah, this Angela girl is bad news and you need to get rid of her ASAP. And then she slides her a good old envelope. Okay. So now we back to the end of the fashion show and Nikki and Lauren are arguing.
We missed another whole part.
Huh?
We missed the part with Raymond talking to see on the basketball court and them having a whole induction for the
Oh
Kings.
yeah, I forgot. You know why I forgot?
Because it was boring and stupid.
You don't have to do Invictus. You don't have, if you gonna do Invictus, do the whole goddamn poem. You don't halfway give me Invictus and leave out whole stanzas of the whole goddamn poem. I'm just saying.
Well, we saw the male. I guess we saw the male version. They called them the Kingsmen, and we got the whole speech from Morris Chestnut about how they were the power brokers and the power players, yada yada yada. And he wants his son to be a part of it, and his son is not here for it at all. The son could care less. Okay.
All I could hear while that was going on is "She's your queen to be." That's all I heard in my head when I was okay. I guess, baby. All right.
Child. So then
Papa Pope was sitting over there like he lording over. Is he in charge of the whole situation now?
That's an impression.
It looked like it.
I feel like he was a past president, and either he was the president and Morris Chestnut was in charge of the inductees, or he was a past president and Morris Chestnut was the president bringing in the new, like, whatever. I'm trying not to use real titles, but y'all know what I'm saying. That's what it looked like, because he was up there like he was in charge too. So yeah, but yeah, there was there.
And the other point is that I'm gonna make is too, when Morris Chestnut had the conversation with his son, he wasn't a part of it. He wanted him to be a part of it.
Right, his son, he wanted his son to be a part of it.
Induction, the son wasn't a part of the induction. He was just sitting in the back.
Right. I think he's bringing him into
that's not you don't have
right to get him started on the journey to becoming an inductee and all that stuff.
No, that's not how that works, Ebbie.
No,
you
can be a part of the auxiliary. Like most of these organizations have like a junior version, like a high school, whatever. You can be a part of that, but you don't get to just sit in on initiative. That ain't how that shit works.
The only people in a actual ceremony are members and the people that are getting brought in. You ain't just gonna be the observant if you see if you want to be a part. No, that's not how that works. That ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah, you can't have no parts of that if you're not a member, because there's stuff you ain't supposed to see or hear. So anyway, we don't want to go too deep into that, but moving on. So yeah, we did miss all of that. Yeah, okay, whatever. So back to the fashion show, child, because this was like the pinnacle moment of the damn shit. So the mothers get to arguing because, you know, Angie mama defending her and Nicole mama defending her, and Nicole.
Well, really, we forgot to say that she lied about her mom at the Grace City's meeting when they asked her.
Yeah, she did
about herself, and she said, "My mom used to spend her summers here, and she had a beauty shop." And my thing was, you do realize that all these people know every black person that come in this area, and you don't give your mom.
The minute she said who her mother was, the mother-in-law knew who she was. The mother-in-law knew who she was immediately.
Like you gotta know, they know every black person that come in this area.
Xavier, that is a lie. It's a lie by omission. She lied, because that's a lie. Stop it, Xavier. That's a lie.
Like, no, her mother did not spend her summers there. Her mother worked there. Let's be clear.
Right. She gave the impression that her mother vacationed there like everybody else vacationed there, and her mama won't vacation, and her mama was working. But so the two of them get to tussling because once again Lauren lied on Nikki, talking about she harassing me and she's bullying me or some. What did she say? What was the lie she told?
She's threatening me. She keeps
threatening me or something like that. Threatening or stalking. Right. I don't know, something like that.
They gave me very white woman. He's harassing me in the park when he was just walking his dog. That's what is giving me.
Right. It was very much that. And so of course, you know, Leah come in to defend her daughter, and then here come Angie talking about something. And here's the thing that cracked me up about Angie. The minute Leah started airing her dirty laundry, now all of a sudden it's, you just going to embarrass me in front of all these people. Girl, you tried to embarrass her.
You did. Yes, you did.
Paid for her twice. So I was like, okay, you can't be mad because the rabbit got the gun. So that is when they got it, and that's when she let everybody know that her mama really was the maid, and she had lied.
And she got a mug shot, and her mom was selling
crack. And her mama got that good mug shot, and she got arrested for possession with the intent to sell, honey. Possession with the intent to sell. Now, Angie had never seen that before. Angie's face was total shock. She ain't know nothing about her mama being arrested. She had never seen that before.
Really, I was laughing at that part because I was like, oh. That gave me my whole life. When Angie saw that mug shot, and she was like, bitch, this a Photoshop? Bitch, what is happening here? Oh my God.
Angie and Nikki got their feelings hurt. Okay, Angie and Nikki got their feelings hurt. So that the next scene we see is, I'm not sure the order, ElTeddy, but I'm gonna tell you my order. The next thing we see is Leah telling her daddy he fired.
Hold on, let me check my notes.
It's either that or
I think that's what happened next.
It's either that or them looking through the police files.
Yes, after she tells about the drug, Leah goes to the boardroom and tells her daddy she forcing him into retirement. That's what I got.
Okay.
Right. He said, and you are going to retire.
Like
after she shaved the legs even on that damn stupid ass. Jesus.
Well, actually, what she did was she shaved them uneven because the dad said the room was built on an incline and the table made it where and when the table was put in, look up because the room was on the incline. So she shaved the legs so that the table made the room, made it even for everybody, and that's why. But my thing is this: there's no way the CEO of the conglomerate, the level of that one, you gonna have, oh, I'm just retiring without the whole board. Because when a CEO moves, you got board members that have to be involved with voting in the next heir apparent and all. It's so much logistics.
And if it's a publicly traded company, they could lose stock. Their stock could go down because like it's a whole bunch of stuff.
That organization, listen, if you got an organization where the name of your organization is about to be on the side of a stadium or an arena, this is a billion with a B plus $+ organization.
Right. Now is not the time. If you're about to do this big project, this now is not the time to be changing the head.
Really just saying, oh, you just gonna get on out and then you just gonna give it to me. That's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
Any of it. At least with Empire, they did kind of try to get that right when Lucius was coming down and they was like, y'all ain't just gonna think we just gonna give it to so and so because they're in the family. Nah, we got whole board members because that's how that works. You have board members, you got trust, you got all types of people. Girl.
Well, we know that we know it's a publicly traded company because there's a board of directors. We saw that.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that at the beginning of the episode. So we know that. Well, let me say this: we know it's a board of directors. Let me say
and
that.
They try to keep up this image so that it doesn't affect the company. And I'm assuming
that Morris Chestnut's character probably with his mama too would say, "Oh, he going out? Now we going in," because I think that's what the mama want. I think the mother-in-law wants her son in that position of power, and she knows well all of this, and is going to use this with Morris Chestnut's character to try and get him at the CEO and not.
But I also feel like, and I said this in my review, and I think I said this to you too, ElTeddy. I feel like Papa Pope. I'm just gonna call him Papa Pope. I feel like Papa Pope. I feel like he walked away because, like he said, I'm better at this than you are. I feel like he's gonna let her think she won, but she ain't won shit.
Because his daughter is in town. He knows his daughter is
not going anywhere. Like
he said, he is the hell in the high water, and you got to get past him. And I don't understand why you thought,
right? Like you're not like when he said, "I'm better at this than you are." I knew. I was like, yeah.
It should have been a red flag to her when he so easily said, "Okay, well, I guess you got it." That should have been your red flag when you've been like, "Wait, what?"
Right, like that was way too easy. That was
right. Like it has to be a vote. It ain't just Oh, I'm stepping. That's not how it.
Lord, all right, we have been on here for almost 2 hours.
Clearly, whoever's writing this ain't never seen no soap operas where they got board meetings and they have high drama about the votings and the stocks and who's on whose side and who's doing what.
Right, so that's why
I need them to watch the first couple of seasons of Succession and then come back to this.
Yeah, this ain't even a date. This is nowhere near being a final decision. So the next thing we see, I believe, the next scene is where Josephine called in some favors and got the police records from her mother's arrest, and they found a videotape.
Where did they get the VCR from? Because in 2020, I said this on my review.
You know what? I was maybe her mama had a VCR in the old salon. Shit, I don't know.
No, because in 2021, I want you to find me a VCR.
Listen, they had one.
A VCR DVD combo at the pawn shop.
Maybe.
Now let me pause here. We haven't been talking about the flashbacks. So throughout the whole episode, we've been seeing flashbacks. The first flashback we saw was a young Angie with her mother doing her hair, getting her ready to meet her daddy. So in that scene, you get the impression that her daddy is either a married man or for whatever reason, he's been too ashamed to be seen with her because she was the maid or something to that effect. She said, your daddy coming, he's going to come and live with us, yada, yada, yada. Daddy shows up, they get to arguing. He's trying to offer her money. Basically, he's trying to pay her off. And she said, you had me keeping us a secret all this time just to do this to me. And the next thing you know, we hear him leaving out and the door slamming. Then the next flashback we see the mama showing Angie how to make the recipe for the conditioner, which is part of her hair care line. Then the next flashback we see Angie running after her father, and we see that she sees him go out the door and slam the door.
And your mom ain't come out at not one point to come and stop you. Like, girl,
hold on, so we're gonna pause there because the final flashback is at the end of the episode.
But also, there was a flashback of her mother showing her how to make the conditioner.
I literally just said that. I
missed that. I was drinking. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was taking a drink. What do you want from me? I didn't hear that part because I was enjoying the Cabernet Sauvignon, which I need to pour more of in here.
Jimmy Harper said, FYI, the reason why it seemed like it was rushed because from my understanding, it was a pilot episode and they didn't redo it. It should slow down now that it was to the network. It was past the network. Okay. Well, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense, but that was just a lot for a pilot. But I hear what you.
One thing about it is, if I'm a network looking at that pilot, I probably would be like, I don't know, y'all need to go back and do some more work, because even for a pilot, you don't have to give me. First of all,
you don't have to give it all up.
I'd rather you give me a mile deep and an inch wide than a mile wide and an inch deep.
But you know what I find interesting? As upset as Lee Daniels was at the network because of what they did to Star, I'm surprised that he went back to them with another show. Maybe that was the only.
He owes Dame Dash $2 million, and you saw him.
He paid him. He gave Dame his money. He gave Dame the money.
But the other thing about it is, what other network is going to deal with this level brand of fuckery? Except
that could be true too. That could be true too.
Down there to Fox News. It's the same network that allows Tuckums and Megan over there to do what they do. They allow Lee Daniels at his level brand of fuckery. I see it.
Maybe, child. Okay, moving on. So, because we about to wrap this up, because I did not mean to be on here for 2 damn hours. So we about to wrap this up.
I don't know why.
You said you don't know why?
Because you know we all long-winded.
I know we all long-winded. So we see her looking at the videotape, and the videotape is her mother being interrogated, and her mother saying, "You know I didn't do this. You got to get me out of this, Teddy." And when she and then we see the back of the head and the arm, which is all she saw her daddy that night when she chased after him, and she knew then that's her daddy. that was helping her mama out.
I think it was the watch that sealed the deal.
Maybe that's what it was, the watch. Okay. So while this is going on, we pan over to the DuPont Franklin estate, or the Franklin DuPont estate. And Leah is so proud of herself because she has convinced herself that she convinced her daddy to quit.
Delusional.
And the look that Morris, like I said to y'all before, the look that Morris Chestnut gave was not happy. He was not happy about it at all.
I think part of it was that, and I think part of it was, like we said earlier, he looked like, girl, how the fuck you just, he probably looked like that too, because girl, that's not how this works. That's a whole process.
Either that, or he has a better relationship with the daddy and can get more through the daddy than he can through the door, through his wife.
Yeah, I absolutely think that. Well, we absolutely know her mama got set up. So while they're out there talking now, the other thing we found out is that she act like she's so upset about what she did to Angie down to the fashion show. I tore another black woman down, and that's not how I want to do things. You, girl, you did not even
let it go. Let it go,
please.
Please.
Listen, you ripped that woman a new one, and you was here for all of it. You was happy, okay?
Oh, you was eating it up with a spoon.
Okay. Okay.
I really want, and I hope they give us more of her mom's backstory, because it seems like her mom was here for all of it. Like, it seems like her mom and Teddy was probably two peas in a pod. Like, they probably were, the heads of their respective families. They were the heads of their, and they were here. Like, I'm here for all of the fuck shit. What? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't. It's bad writing to me. I'm just gonna call it. But if they were in my class, they would get a D, and that's the worst grade you can get from me. A D is the worst grade I can get. F is not the worst grade, because F, you knew you was getting an F, but when you get a D, you put effort into it, and you still failed, which means that you're just horrible at whatever you're doing.
Well, no, that's not.
You really thought you was gonna do well. You put effort into this. Good D, get the D.
Yeah, not on this episode, Sierra. He has not met her on this episode, but I'm sure that's coming. So then Layla comes over to the house. I mean, Angie comes over to the house to pick up her wig in person. Mm-hmm. And they have this weird exchange back and forth about we're two sides of the same coin, and she said I tore you down, and I don't like tearing down a black woman, and it was a really weird, awkward dialogue. How did y'all feel about that?
I felt like this. First of all, I got servant people hand that woman her wig and send her on her merry little way. You don't got nothing to talk about. Girl, don't let her in my house. Baby, have her stay at the front door or at the foyer. Run her wig and send her out my house. Because that exchange was, you just went off on me. And even if I'm on Angela's side, baby, I don't want to even have words with you. Run me my wig and let me keep it moving. But then I think that was their attempt to try to find some way to mitigate this whole going off on the person who's the head of the organization that you're clamoring so hard to be a part of, that just doesn't make fucking sense.
I agree, Xavier. I agree 100%. I think this would have made a lot more sense if Angela's mom had given her, like ElTeddy said at the beginning of this, a deathbed confession, or had left a letter with the deed attached, telling her all the business. Then her showing up and being so pressed to be a part of this, that would have made so much more sense. So I agree with you, Xavier. I think that one little detail would have made a lot of things make more sense. I just do. I do. I agree 100%. So last but not least, we see Angela take that wig back to the house and pull out a good piece of hair. Now, let me say this. Now, this about to be real mean, what I'm about to say. Are we sure that that's really late?
I thought it was a weave too.
I said, because that looked like a good old weave.
You are
as a resident weaveologist, I would just like to say that hair that she did up underneath that wig, that was not her hair. That belonged
Right? So you got a girl like,
I was saying the same thing. I was like, I don't know that we've ever even seen Leah's real hair.
Right. That test gonna come back yucky.
I was like,
that DNA test gonna come back yucky.
Can't go on. Okay, it's gonna come back Indian.
Right, it's gonna come back yucky. Like, girl.
She'll be straight out of India or Bangladesh or somewhere.
I was like, girl. Now the only consolation is she did do the woman hair, so maybe she know the woman. I don't know. That's all I can say. But neither here nor there. That is how the episode ends. Now listen, let me say this to everybody in the chat. First of all, thank you everybody for being here. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you have subscribed to my channel, ElTeddy27 and Ebbie Reviews. My mods have been dropping our links throughout the live, so please make sure you guys are subscribed. Shout out, yes, y'all been working. My mom's been working tonight. Shout out to Watermelon Sugar and Danny, and I think little baby that came through the house as well. Shout out to all of y'all. It is much appreciated. So if you are not subscribed to myself, ElTeddy or Ebbie, please do. Myself and ElTeddy review the show. Ebbie does she reviews a lot of shows over her channel too. She just don't do this one, child.
This one,
but you see that she in it with us though. She in it with us.
It took my pressure up like this.
But I want to say this though. I am reviewing the show. I did enjoy a lot of the show, but we're gonna listen, when we do our lives, the lives are here for us to nitpick, argue, and just talk about it. Okay. So do I like the show? Sure. Am I gonna keep reviewing the show? Of course I am. Was there some beautiful black people? I do. Yes, it was. I love a good show that show rich black people. I'm sorry. That's just it. I just love it. I love it. Okay.
Because she bougie and that's where she come from.
I knew it was gonna come up before. I wasn't going to be the one to say it.
Wait a minute.
Because she can relate.
This is y'all kind of carrying on the
both of you really
in the upper echelon
of academia. This is all crazy. This is your people. These are your people, okay? Not my people. This is not my kind of people, your kind of people.
I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm going to just leave it alone. I'm not.
I knew it was going to show up eventually.
I want to thank y'all for being here. We getting ready to shut it down in a minute. Please, again, if you already subscribed to the channel, hit that like button on your way out. It is free 99. I can't promise that we're gonna be here every Friday, but I do want to. For those of y'all who've been rocking with me for a minute, y'all know that we used to do this on Friday nights all the time. So I do want to get back to that. We have a lot of shows, a lot of our dramas that are back. We have Queen Sugar. We have this. We have Blood and Water. The new season started streaming, and we're definitely going to review that. So we will be here again. I can't promise every Friday, but we will definitely be here, and we'll probably rotate channels. So again, at the top of this, the Justice League will be linking up over the next couple of weeks. We have a new season of Chasing Dallas. We're gonna have some interviews. Go check out our reviews. Markel Logan rolled through early. I don't know if he's still in the bushes or not, but thank you for coming through. He's one of the stars of the show of Chasing Dallas. So thanks for rolling through. And thank y'all for being here. Ebbie, you have any final words?
Yes. If you're going to read someone or as you review a show, please spell their name right on your crayon. That's it.
Did you? Yeah, I called Amani out for that. Because I was like, what part of Markel? Like, what is she spelling?
Oh, she spelled Markel's name wrong.
She spelled his name wrong, but I never even seen Markel spelled like that. Like, what do you spell?
Never ever in my whole black life have I ever seen it spelled.
How did she spell it?
Marquel.
Now I never envisioned in the.
And let's be clear, his name is at the beginning of the episode. So even if you weren't sure.
Right, and I never professed Imani Van Zap to be the brightest bulb in the light fixture.
Moving on. Any final words, Dr. Snacks?
Jesus.
I have decided that after much prodding from people, I will do Chasing Dallas because I was not gonna do it.
Do it for the mind.
I'm gonna
do it for the vine. Do it for the vine.
I ain't gonna do it, but I'll do it now. Hopefully, no episode 1. I've already finished episode 1, so I know that'll be out tonight. Hopefully, I'll get to episode 2. And let me say that I'm gonna say this in my review, so y'all get a little snippet of my review. I swear, these people are now clamoring to be a part of my thumbnail. I swear, with some of these confessionals, they are trying to be a part of my thumbnail. Like it's a badge of honor. They say, no, I need to make ElTeddy's thumbnail because it's a badge of honor. I'll be like, girl, what the fuck? You see what you got on? Like, man. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
All right. Well, thank y'all for being here. It has been a fun time. The chat has been lit. Y'all have been cutting up. I appreciate you all. My mods, thank you for coming through. Enjoy your weekend. Silly
little baby, I'm on episode 8 of Dear White People. I got to finish the episode, then I got 2 more after that. So
are we doing? I mean, are you doing Silly Saturday in the morning?
I will be doing Silly Saturday in the morning. So
we're gonna meet in ElTeddy's room around what? 10 o'clock-ish. All right, for Silly Saturdays. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace. Goodbye.